Money and the money. Money and the money.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Money Talk by Money Party. Money Party. It's literally the best group ever. My name is S. Cameron Schilderberg from the Schilderberg Group, and I will be your host today. And our guest today is Zhuang from ShuttleOne. Welcome very much, Zhuang.
Hi, Schilderberg. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Now, as you may know, I'm a Wall Street guy. I'm interested in getting rich quick. So what are you going to do to get me even richer?
So I think being a Wall Street guy, you will probably know all the tricks and the ways of making money. But something on our end that we have to offer in ShuttleOne, which a quick introduction would be, we are building DeFi ecosystems for B2B enterprises across in Southeast Asia at least. They've been around for about a year, and in the age of negative interest rates, right? Like if you put your money, your euros or your USD in some banks, if you put your yen in Japan, you're probably going to be paying the bank because of negative interest rates. So for us, one of the key things, for your USD and in our case, stable coins, we are actually paying you back, an average of about 10% APY, interest annualized per year. And that's generated from real assets. We found the sweet spot between the bridge between the DeFi crypto space and real assets. The dream that most crypto projects wanted to be. When they say they want to transform and change the world, I think we have it. So that's where you could get rich faster, I guess, and then I guess with a more stable interest rate in that sense.
All right, you're talking about negative and positive. I'm not a negative guy. I'm a positive guy. But you've called your company ShuttleOne. Does that because it's going to the moon?
We would love to think, being on board the shuttle, you are coming to the moon. We do have a token that rewards, liquidity providers within our ecosystem. And we do hope, and it's listing on the 25th of this month of October. We would love to reward, the liquidity providers in our ecosystem. And we do hope with the shuttle and being on board, you will go to the moon with us, definitely.
All right, so just to confirm, you are not a space technology company.
No, we're not. We are building, blockchain solutions and DeFi solutions in the ecosystem. We are not, categorically, we are not a space company. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not going to 20, 30x your stock price in that sense. I do hope so. I could with the ShuttleOne token. But we're not a space company.
All right, so sum it up. What is the company and why did you start this company?
I've been in the crypto space for a while, full-time probably 4 years since the end of 2016. Previously, my previous life was actually a farmer. So I didn't farm your sushi, I didn't farm your Wi-Fi or whatever tokens. I farmed real world vegetables. Like I was a farmer, and I used to develop farmlands for fresh produce in that sense. And before that, I was working for an investment bank. I got disillusioned with big finance, if I may. And therefore I jumped to be a farmer, and after that I got hooked with the crazy returns and the to the moon stuff in 2017 with crypto. The reason why we started ShuttleOne was solely because we realized that there were a lot of projects out there who didn't know too much of what they were building, and therefore we wanted to kind of bridge the promises of what I guess Bitcoin or the blockchain is all about, generally tokenizing, collateralizing, real assets in that sense. And we've been doing that for a year now. And that was one of the fundamental things. So it was born out of winter, being fed up with all these empty promises that we were sold. All right, and building good token economies and a great company moving forward. So that's why we started it.
Interesting. So you went from Saxman Gold to crypto, the digital gold.
You're
So
right.
what was your first crypto business?
We started in 2016 with mining in Singapore, and gradually we moved around Southeast Asia because the electrical, as difficulty went up, electrical cost in Singapore can't handle some of this. So we started with mining, right? And that was solely because I didn't want to spend money, just by buying Ethereum. There was not many, exchanges or fiat on and off ramps or even OTC guys, back in 2016. And therefore, I said, okay, if I could set up a computer or many computers, I would literally get Ether for free, right? Like I do work for Ether, of course, I do pay for electricity. So that was the safest way of how I thought I could get Ether. So one thing led to another. We became one of Singapore's largest mining companies. We refurbished a 25 megawatt power plant in the heart of Singapore. And eventually we shifted to Malaysia, to Indonesia. We were nomads in that sense for electricity. So that was before. And if we think about it, today in DeFi, it's almost the same thing, right? You provide liquidity to a network. Hopefully you get your liquidity back, your stable coins or whatever you have provided for, and you get a token, in that sense. And it's all software based. You don't need to set up hardware computers like what we did in 2016. So I thought, that's a positive move in the crypto space at this point in time.
I'll tell you a secret. I was very strongly considering becoming a miner myself, but my favorite bar, it had a sign saying that they don't serve alcohol to minors, and I'm not willing to give that up. So I stuck with finance. But I totally respect your decision. But you've gone back into finance now. So what is the service that your company provides?
The biggest thing that we're doing on the blockchain, if I may, we partnered with various government agencies within Southeast Asia, particularly with Singapore, and we are particularly focused on small and medium-sized enterprises trade financing. We have done, more than $1.1 million in the last 3 months during the pandemic, because a lot of these merchants around the region couldn't go to their bank, right? Or they have very limited internet infrastructure to kind of, apply for certain things in the bank. So what we did, to work with some of our partners overseas, for example, in Thailand, the corridor between Thailand and China, we provided trade financing, and particularly the term would be receivables financing, for a cargo that was going to exit, from Thailand and be shipped to China. We were able to service that. And one of the big things that came out in the last 6 months at least was we actually helped a lot of merchants around the region. When the lockdown started, when societies was getting closed, people had to shift, right, to change their businesses, and a lot of them became traders for masks, for PPEs, for gloves, and all this. We were able to support merchants around the region to secure supplies from China, of course, in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes. And a lot of these merchants, because the demand was so great for mass, at least from like maybe March to June, a lot of the merchants that we service within our network, the ShuttleOne network, are able to secure their supplies and do, good flips along the way. So we are quite proud of that.
Is that because of Bitcoins and blockchains?
Yes, of course. So that the only way they could do that is, to use digital currency, right? With central banks' digital currency taking their own sweet time to get released, we use DAI predominantly to kind of fund, this trade. So we have built a fiat on and off ramp across Southeast Asia to facilitate, the DAI conversion in that sense. And therefore that facilitated a lot of these enterprise trades during the pandemic in that sense.
Well, as you can see behind me, there's quite a lot of these banknotes falling from the sky. It's symbolic because fiat currency is going down. And that's what I believe. I believe that the Bitcoins and blockchains, they are the future. And you're one of the evangelists of this. So you released your own version of the Bitcoins. Is that not right?
The only token that we have that is, I would say, unique would be the ShuttleOne token. That's the token that it's kind of like changing how API, the software revenue model for API calls is like, because on the blockchain, you can actually, program fees, per transaction, like what Ethereum does in that sense. So our partners actually, and our users actually pay in the ShuttleOne token. It has been in action for the past 6 months. And of course, we're just getting, the token out into the public space at this point. But I guess in terms of creating a token for like Bitcoins and all that, we do have tokens in NFTs, ERC20, like the ones that recently was voted yes, green lighted by the maker community, is what we call a CAT token. Is a credit application token where it basically prices the loan to value ratio of the trade financing in and of itself. But fiat is going down to zero, I am sure. I think in the last 10 years, the USD has suffered tremendous, drops. Of course, they are still the world's reserve currency. We respect that. But we do think there are many, many different, especially, in the digital currency space, with stronger economics that will come out. And that basically falls on crypto assets.
So how much money is going through your platform at the moment? How much is going through?
So right now, I think the public pools that we have on ShuttleOne.network/mainnet, all right, the total amount of deposits is roughly around US 200,000. We haven't done much marketing on it and all that, and it was just really, I think people who believe in the work that we are doing, and they're just depositing their money, supplying liquidity into the network. So that's about 200,000. On our own end, we have done, we have put in about close to 1.1 million of our own balance sheet to actually kickstart this business maybe about a year ago, and therefore I think in total probably about almost $2. $2 million, is going through the ecosystem at this stage.
What, per day or?
That's a month for now.
Okay, monthly $2 million. All right. So when did you first start doing the money transfer thing? Actually,
that was our first product, because for us to facilitate loans, right? And the basic feedback from merchants will always be, I don't know what is your DAI. I don't know what is DAI. I don't know what is USDT. I don't know what is USDC. I just want to see fiat money. So about 2 years ago when ShuttleOne started, the first thing that we tried to attack and create a product for was on remittance, fiat on and off ramps, our industry likes to call it. So we've created fiat on and off ramps by partnering with licensed money changers, remittance houses all across Southeast Asia. And I'll share a little bit more on that with the pandemic later. But that was our first product, and it was out in October 2019. Which formed the first base of how lending and trade financing can be built on top of it.
Is this the part where I'm getting rich from depositing my cash into your system?
Yes, you actually share all or rather a percentage of the network transacted fees if you hold as SGO, and in providing the liquidity, the stablecoins liquidity in that sense.
So I have to hold something.
So you have to hold the ShuttleOne token, but you don't have to buy it. All right. I'm not asking people to buy. There's really an organic buy right now. I'm asking you to provide liquidity in stablecoins. All right. And that's almost risk-free, right? That's almost risk-free because you can withdraw your stablecoins at any time. Our contracts are live and has been audited. And the most, if you lose something, it might be, and you get SEO, right? You get rewarded with SEO, the ShuttleOne token. And therefore, we think that is a much safer model. It's like you mining Ether. You buy the computer. If there's anything that happens, you can sell the computer away, or you can open a internet cafe, as like I always like to say. And you end up with a bunch of Ethers that you have mined in that sense. So it's the same philosophy.
Is this a farm?
Yeah, probably it's a farm, but you're just farming, I guess, the ShuttleOne token, the token that will give you your ticket to the shuttle to the moon.
I see. How do I know that I'm not mixing my funds in with these, money launderer types?
Good question. So ShuttleOne is, undergoing the licensing licensing application process with the Monetary Authority of Singapore. It is a fairly new legal framework called digital payment tokens that finally a tier 1 jurisdiction in Southeast Asia is coming up with, right? So in terms of KYC AML, all right, all the tokens that comes into the pools, and this is DeFi, right? We love no KYC, non-custodial and all that. So we are non-custodial. That's the first box that's ticked. You can take out your money, you can put in your money anytime at any given preference in that sense. In terms of KYC, we actually do scan for the tokens. We work with a very strong KYC partner. You guys might know this, Elliptic, good friends of ours, and they are our vendors for KYC. And what Elliptic does is that every token that is funneling through into our ecosystem is actually scanned for like dark web, you know, pedophile wallets, you know, and they do have such great features. And what we do is that we actually block it. So we actually tell the user, all right, these coins that are coming into the network before it gets deposited into the pools, you know, are actually tainted for whatever reasons, right? We'll just say it's tainted, we can't accept your money, and too bad. So, and therefore we hope, and then of course the model is evolving, but at this point, we do hope that we have at least a foundational, we have built a foundation for how DeFi can be properly, you know, not just regulated, but also protecting, you know, consumer interests in that sense. So we're not a mixer, and we have the proper compliance reporting that is needed to the central bank in Singapore.
Yeah, you know, I heard a lot about this lipstick, the ear lipstick, but I haven't looked that deeply into it. But you've joined Money Party recently. Thank you very much for you know, becoming a member. I myself am also a proud member. What can ShuttleOne do for the membership of Money Party? What do you got for us?
So I think for Money Party, and we are all, and I assume we are all experts in the token space for many years right now, right? You know, I know some of there are familiar faces in the Money Party group, you know, and I won't bank on that in that sense. So I guess for ShuttleOne as a token, in terms of liquidity provision, and of course you get rewarded with the ShuttleOne token, we are going to do something fantastic, right? I won't be a Donald Trump to say, you know, something big is coming up, please watch out for it. But for the people that know us, especially some of the familiar faces in Money Party, we are able to do something, you know, pretty soon when the tokens get listed and listed on Uniswap in the next couple of weeks. So we do hope that people would actually provide liquidity. You can withdraw anytime. You can withdraw after it's listed, but get, you know, farm your ShuttleOne token in that sense.
So what you're trying to say is the people tuned into this Zoom right now live are getting advance warning of an announcement.
A pro tip will be the right term.
All right, so I'm looking forward to this giant multi-million-dollar airdrop just for Money Party members. Fantastic. Cannot wait. Thank you so much. And then so your token has not launched yet.
So the token is launched, is live on mainnet. All right. The token distributions and all that can be found via our website or a guide that we have published online. I could provide the link to Money Party exclusively. The token, there will be a liquidity event, or, you know, in short, we are listing it on the 25th of October. We will be providing at least, you know, 100 Ether worth of liquidity to kind of move or you know, balance the pools, if I may, right, in Uniswap. And who knows, you know, I'm not sure where the token price will be. I hope it's, you know, on the shuttle and upwards. But we do have crafted it such that, you know, I mean, it's programmable money, right? It's programmable assets in a sense. We have crafted it in such a way that, you know, we don't want to discount, or we don't want to, I want to reward, you know, the people who they are holding our tokens.
Well, yeah, it's valuable to get in there early usually, right? But I am personally a big fan of the unicorn swap. I've noticed they've given me, they gave me some free stuff, and that's definitely a good way to win my heart. Now, would you be available at all to join a text AMA in the Money Party chat in about 1 minute?
Yeah, of course, I can do that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Look, just for people tuning in now, some people come in late, right?
Yeah.
Sum it up. Who are you? What is ShuttleOne? Why is it the future?
ShuttleOne is a DeFi for enterprises, startup. We come from Singapore. One of the main things that we have right now is an actual working product where tokens are actually in play, all right? And we're actually, paying out much more than I think the traditional, maybe the incumbent legacy DeFi projects in that sense, in a safe and stable manner. That's for me, because I came from a crazy place where it's pump and dump back in, the Vampire Squid place. But I think going forward for the sustainability of finance, for the protection of liquidity providers, to support the mission that we have, we design in such a way that is almost risk-free. You get rewarded in that sense. And that's us in a nutshell.
Well, I do love nutshells, and let's reconvene in the Money Party chat. And thank you very much for joining us, Zhuang from ShuttleOne.
Thank
Money
you.
Party.
And the money and the money.